Almost to 50. What's up, Alex and chat?
Dude, Rob, thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. Hi, everyone. I'm feeling better, yeah. Dude, Friday and Thursday, I legitimately had such bad headaches. Yesterday, I didn't have a headache, but we ended up going out. We did do some, just some like social stuff. And then I ate way too much food, and not a bad thing, but honestly, I feel like crap today, just sluggish. But we're doing a keyboard. Thank you, Gran. I appreciate it, dude. We are doing a keyboard, but today's a really interesting keyboard because it's not a keyboard that I don't know will make an entrance to the public at this point. This is just a prototype that was sent to. We'll take a look at it, but yeah, I'll show you guys. We'll talk about it here in a bit. But how are you guys? Is everyone doing good? Everyone doing okay? Honestly, guys, I think I needed yesterday to just do nothing, and that's what I did all day. I just kind of went with the flow yesterday. How's the head? Dude, I had like weird headaches / migraines for like 2 days in a row. Sloppy, thank you so much for the gift it, man. I appreciate it. He hit 100. Dude, you know what came in today? Okay, I gotta show you guys. Hold on. Wait. Pause the music. Look what came in today in the mail. Look, guys. I'm official. Isn't that crazy? I don't know where I'm gonna put it. But pretty cool, no? Dude, it's kind of wild to think about. Cool, right? It's a lot lighter than I thought. I don't think this is metal. Or at least it's probably thin pieces of metal. It's it feels like plastic, I'm not gonna lie. But it's really cool though. I think this is neat. Thank you, Burn. I appreciate the tier 1s, man. Thank you so much for the 5, bro. Yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, apparently they're really small compared to before. They have like a little thing saying like what to expect, and apparently they're like they're very, very small compared to the old ones, and they said the quality didn't go down, but like I've obviously never seen the other ones, but I was looking at some older like pictures and I'm like, man, it does really look totally different. It's still cool as hell though. Like I appreciate you guys getting me to this point. There's already dust floating around everywhere in it. See? It's like a dust magnet at this point here, but I gotta figure out where to put this. I was thinking behind this over here or something. I'll probably just like adhere it to the wall. I don't know, here or something like that. But cool. Shrinkflation on everything. I remember how Deboki used his. He put it on the back of the F1. That's pretty smart, actually. I was actually watching one of his videos today, Deboki's. I'm not gonna lie, he has this really cool lamp in one of his videos that I need to figure out where he got that lamp. I just really want that lamp. It's such a cool looking piece. So cool looking. They can only have one channel. Yeah, exactly, Kabu. So I will be looking at the Agar Mini soon, and the Neo 65 Core Plus, I'm not sure. I have to ask. That I might have to ask to get a look at, so. Can't stay long in theater. Oh, you're in theater. Are you watching Superman or something? I feel like everyone went to go watch Superman this week, except for me. Everyone except for me. Thank you, though, guys. I really appreciate the kind words. But yeah, how's your guys' weekend? I'm after stream today, I'm going to be recording some stuff. I want to test out a vision I have for how to record something for YouTube. So I'm going to do a little test. It'll be for a classic TKL. But that's going to be my day today. And then maybe, just maybe, if I have time tonight, and if it's not busy, maybe I'll go watch Fantastic Four. Maybe. I haven't really been to the theaters in a long time, so it could be cool. Could be. Hydrate. Superman sucks? I heard the opposite. I heard it's really good, Gallo. I heard the new Fantastic Four movie is pretty dope. Someone said, well, I don't want to spoil it, but someone said like the villains are really cool in Fantastic Four. I haven't seen it either, so. QK75? QK75 is good. We're actually going to be looking at that new 75% Evo soon, too. I need to figure out when we're booking that, but Tuesdays, it's only $5 for most theaters. I don't know if they do that here still. I actually don't think they do that here. At least not all the major cinemas here in Toronto at the very least. There are some smaller theaters that do that. When's the next Manta stream? I don't know. I don't even know what other Switch I want to put in right now. But perhaps soon. At least Regal and Cinemark here in Alaska, they do that? I don't know if Cineplex does that here. There's not a lot of different theaters. There's something about your voice that makes me want to be productive. I'm glad, bro. Today's gonna be a super productive day, so. Fresh off Mario Kart all-nighter. Hey, yo, hope you're doing well. Is it the new one you're playing on the Switch 2? Dude, yeah, dude, honestly, if I didn't have much to do today, I would have actually committed to a full day of cleaning, because I still have yet to do my full day of cleaning. Even though I really, really want to, I just, you know when you just don't have time? You know when that, it just like, you mean to clean, but then like 3 other things pop up? That's basically what it's been, bro. And then, dude, I've also been trying to track down a cork desk pad that is like 35 inches by like 40, or I don't know. I'm looking for like a really big cork desk pad, and I think I finally found it. I don't even want it for the desk because I think cork's kind of difficult to track on. I just want it for video stuff, like in photo stuff. That's literally it. So, a twirl? Oh, this shirt is the same back and front. It just says sensory overload on the front here. I forget where I got this from. I love manatees because your chances of being the only one in... Oh, manatees. Jeez. Matinees. Jesus, I read that so wrong, bro. I like manatees too, though. For real. Matinees are something I have not been to in a while, though, for movie theaters. Not in a long time. Because they don't have discounts anymore. At least, I don't think they do here. I feel you. Dude, I get you. Do you have a big cork sheet because you might be able to get it laser cut somewhere? No, but I did find a place that sells them for a decent price. So I do want to just grab one just to take photos of. Just because I want like a really big like top down with just cork everywhere and not having to Photoshop it at all. Considering your experience with movie theaters, I actually think I got unlucky twice in a row. Because it was, okay, what was it? It wasn't Spider-Man was actually a good watch. It was Doctor Strange that we had people that were kind of annoying in front of us. And then I don't remember, but there was another, I don't even remember what movie it was now. The Doctor Strange one. I think that was the one that really, I think that kind of sent me over the edge with watching movies. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people have bad experiences these days. But you know what it is, man? It's a lot of this. It's a lot of people on their phones and stuff. And then you just see bright screens. Oh, dude, what was that other movie? I remember what happened. It was some guy constantly trying to talk to a girl. Because I think he was like trying to flirt with her. And just wouldn't stop. The entire movie. And she was clearly not interested. She wanted to watch the movie too. But I just don't remember what movie it was. I think it was a Marvel movie. I'm pretty positive. I just don't remember what it was now. Theater etiquette is kind of gone. I just wait for streaming. Yeah, I think it depends when you go though. I feel like when you go earlier in the day, you get people who are a bit more tame, I guess. Secondhand cringe. I got secondhand cringe from that one there. Going on a movie date to talk. I feel like movie dates in general are usually kind of a bad idea. Like, I think that is like last resort in case you need something to talk about. You know? Thank you, I appreciate it, man. Show you on the new Evo 75 list. Hope for a review soon. Yes, I got it in. I just need to figure out when we're doing it, so I need to clear it with them. So, Minecraft ruining movie experiences. Oh, I saw that. Yeah, the chicken jockey stuff. Yeah. Lucky 65? No. I have a Lucky 65 somewhere. All right, I quickly wanted to go over this keyboard with you because it's kind of cool. So this is designed by Scribble. This whole keyboard's kind of interesting. Dan Keeves sent this over because they were supposed to run it. Then a few months went by. and I was like, hey, I still have this keyboard, like what's going on? And no one's sure. The DanCube says they just can't get a hold of Scribble. So I don't know if this is like pending some dust on this. Pending some time with Scribble or something like that. I have no clue what the holdup is here. But it's a cool project. I believe this is actually a round 2. Although I don't remember the first release. So I have no clue. Yeah, I only hope the best. But speaking of which, I wanted to segue into another conversation. What are you guys using to find out new keyboard stuff? So this is an actual deep conversation I kind of wanted to have with you guys. Like, what are you guys using to like look at? Are you still using like GeekHack, or are you kind of relying on Discords? Nothing. You? Yeah. I rely on you guys. GeekHack and Grapevine Gossip, Simon and Saturdays. I rely on your streams. People ping me. Discord, GeekHack, word of mouth. Okay. ChatGPT, YouTube, stream for sure. Okay. No, that's good. So, essentially, I was also thinking, from even my perspective, like, what do I use? Like, and I was really thinking, I'm like, okay, well, I still use GeekHack. I hate navigating it, and honestly, GeekHack a lot of the times ends up being a lot of like projects from brands, or sometimes they don't get posted because it's like considered advertising, so it's just kind of like weird. But I was thinking about making like a little, perhaps a forum board of my own. I already started, where maybe we can start to organize people's ideas and ICs better, with a more moderated community, I suppose. That way there, it's not like, my problem with GeekHack is it just doesn't feel good to navigate, and then the search function on GeekHack doesn't work, and then listen, I'm just gonna say what it is. Like, GeekHack's community, I've always been against it. I've never cared for it. I think there are people who are really rude on it, and I think the landscape of having to interact with people on GeekHack sometimes is very closed off, and just very like, if it's not a particular thing, it is not gonna do well on GeekHack. So I'm just not a big fan. So I was thinking about doing something like that. Yeah, the search function does make you make an account, and it's also terrible because it's old. So, but yeah, that or I was gonna start doing like monthly roundups of stuff. I know I've talked about this in the past and just never did it, but I do kind of want to go ahead and do that now. Kind of, okay, this is a selfish reason, but I kind of wanted to do it for myself as well. Just because I sometimes lose track of things, and it'd be nice if I wrote everything down. Maybe kind of curate lists instead of making a new forum and message board entirely. So, although if they aren't going to update it, it'd be down for a new one. I mean, Keep Talk is my use on as far as forums go, to be honest. I haven't really used Keep Talk at all. It can be a bit of a challenge for some of us who are used to old forums. Yeah, Keep Talk I haven't really used a whole hell of a lot. Honestly, I'm glad, because you see a gap there that needs filling. Yeah, I mean, realistically, like, I don't think there is a solid method, because like, even if you're watching keyboard reviewers who are going over like a month's worth of releases, it doesn't also cover things like ICs. Not all the time, and if it does, it's selective ICs. Right? So it would be cool to have like proper lists where you can go through and it has everything, not just stuff that's been curated. But I think also, to make an argument, I think curated stuff's also very good too. So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. And someone asked about the Owl Labs Hellcat thing. I think that thing looks dope. But yeah, I did see it. I did look at it. I'm worried about archival and longevity. I worry about the fragility of GeekHack's future. I mean, look what happened to Desk Authority. Well, I don't know if GeekHack's gonna go anywhere per se, because it's first of all, I don't think it's a lot to host, and second of all, it's owned by Corsair now. So I don't know. I don't know anything about the longevity of GeekHack, quite frankly. half the old stuff for Geekhack doesn't even work because the media doesn't exist. You know, when you go onto some of those old Geekhack pages, all the pictures are gone, and it's just photos. At least most of them. Like, not okay. I shouldn't say most of them. There's a good chunk where all the media is gone because someone deleted the media because it was hosted on a different platform. So that's kind of my problem as well. It's like it doesn't even work well for that. Let's see this board, Ivo. I did see this. Guys, I really don't think they're gonna need someone to review this. I did see this, and a bunch of people have been asking me to review it. If they want to send me a review copy, I would love to communicate with them about that. But I mean, it's definitely a cool project. But I did see this. I actually was looking at this the other day as well. But yeah, okay. So this is, to go back to this now, this is a project that I think was originally posted in 2023 for an R1. I don't know if it ran, but for an R2, at least that's what the IC says, this was posted in November of 2024. It's a cool project. It's a 60 that kind of resembles that keyboard with those two media buttons that we did at one point. So nice.
Looking fresh AF today. What happened to the EMs you used to use on stream?
They caused me some like weird pressure headaches after stream, so I stopped using it. Yes, the Polygon. That's what it was called. But thank you, Baz. I appreciate that, man. But yeah, look at this. I mean, it's such a cool project. Again, this is not, as far as I know, this is not running anymore or something. So I have no clue. But they did send us some plates. Dan Keeps set this up for us. Sapien says, KBD News has a section for keyboard news, but again, not everything's covered, just selective stuff. I also feel like KBD News is also very niche projects. And then also, for some reason, I also find it kind of hard to navigate. And I also do kind of feel it's definitely curated too. Here is the PCB. It is Hot Swap 1.6. At least that's what it said on the IC. I'll double check it though. We have foam, which unfortunately got kind of glued to the back here, but I'll kind of just leave it here in the box. And my camera hates me. What's going on? What's going on, camera? There we go. Okay. And then we have the keyboard, which I like these like custom straps that they got going on here. It's a nice looking keyboard. I'm like kind of shocked that this is not running anymore. So it's a 60 with macro columns and light bars. And it's supposed to be this whole thing with balance. That's the theme behind the keyboard here. It's equilibrium, some balance going on. Let's open this guy up. Let's just maybe use this to poke a hole. I only see really good keyboards, but resellers are in Asia, America, but the custom tax price is killing me. Well, custom products are never going to be cheap. Like small batch custom stuff will never be cheap. Oh, this is fucking dope. Holy shit. I love this like foil effect they got on the back of the keyboard. What is this? Just stickers? What? This is sick. Why isn't this running? Or I just answered my own question beforehand, but I like the coating on this too. This is really nice. Huh. What do you guys think? Again, it doesn't look like there's any plans to continue with this project. I have no clue what's going on with it, other than just no communication from the designer. Cool. Yeah, it does have like a cyberpunk kind of feel to it. Got like a nice little cloth too. That's cool. Not for me personally. You know what? I'm not gonna say it's gonna be for everyone. It looked like on the IC they had different weights, so you don't have to get this like crazy one. There's just like plain and simple ones as well. But I kind of vibe with this. Huh. Does it have feet? Let's go with the feet out of the bag as well here. I do like this layout though. One thing I saw on the IC as well, is that they had different layouts you could do for the solder version. I don't know if it translates to the hot swap. I don't know if it does. But you could have done one of those like 64 key 60 builds with the arrows. I think it's pretty, but it's not like I'd see it. Yeah, I know. Once you flip it over, for sure. So what's this? Is this supposed to be like a screw tray of some sort? I have no idea. Again, this is kind of an abandoned project from what I gather, so we're gonna just go through this with as much confidence as we possibly can here. Also, what are these holes here? They're not for screws or anything, so these look like they could have been for push-in feet, but it looks like maybe they decided against it. Thank you, Jonaphoto. I appreciate it, man. This is compensation for the problem during manufacturing. Oh, the holes there? Maybe for coating? I'm really not sure. Can you do this sound test for this board on your old desk to see if it unbends? Listen, I get the joke because it's called equilibrium, but you know what, Annette? You know what, dude? Oh, the red thing. So wait, did this run then, Gallo? Or at least did it run in China or something? Or just not North America? Again, I couldn't find much about it. Like, I couldn't even find a buy page. Oh, interesting. Where did it run? I guess it's abandoned for North America? How much was this back then? Beats me. I don't even know what this, like, there isn't, I don't have much information on this at all. And I think these are for this. Okay. I'm getting sad for this keyboard. Well, it looks like it did run in a different region, just maybe not for North America, which is kind of a bummer. I feel like this would have done well. We can look over some of the aesthetics now that we put over the feet. It ran on Z Frontier? Dude, I could not for the life of me figure out a buy page for that. Although I didn't search Z Frontier in particular. I was just looking through ICs in Google, but I could not find anything. Aesthetically, I don't know if this would have been it for everyone. So if we look at, where's my tweezers so I can point at things? Here we go. I don't know if this seam on the top would have been everyone's cup of tea. I feel like, truth be told, I actually do feel like they could have better designed this top piece and made the seam along the side of the keyboard. It would have obviously taken some reworking, but I think that would have been the better look for this keyboard. The seam on the top really doesn't make a whole lot of sense visually. I think it kind of cheapens the look of the board, and the board has cool aesthetics. Like, imagine this is just a solid piece. If they had done something where this was like a different material or some sort of like inset where it would have been different, perhaps I could have seen that. But again, it doesn't have that vibe where this makes a lot of sense to run with a seam on the top. Let's see. It's on Z Frontier. Oh yeah, look, a group buy page. Dude, this is like crazy. This did not pop up for me in Google. How was it received? Was it received well? I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Yeah, I don't really care for the seam. I think that gives the top more visual interest. Yeah, some people may like it. I'm just giving you guys my opinion on this. I think this could have been done more elegantly had they gone with this, because I have seen keyboards where they do like an inset piece. And I think maybe one of the ways they could have done that to make this keyboard look a lot better, if they wanted to leave this, I feel like they could have made this a different material, extended out the front to have a cherry lip, and then just drop this by like 0.2 millimeters inwards to kind of give it like a inset effect here. That way there you have something to rest well, something to help lower the front hit here, and then also would have looked a little nicer. Alex the designer? Well, I've never been okay, my personal preference, I've never been huge on when designers do this. It's never really been my absolute favorite. Sometimes it works. I feel like it doesn't take away from this keyboard in a lot of sense because it has some other visual interesting pieces, has the macro columns, has these little light bars, but I think it could have been done a little bit more elegantly. Is the Crush 80 just the 80% version of the Randy 75? Got that foamy sound? I am honestly not sure, Warts. I don't really get around to using too many of those boards, but I'm sure it probably follows some of the same characteristics. The Rainey's a really popular keyboard. I also like this here on the back. I like this kind of look. I think this works really well with this coating as well. Really, really nicely with this coating. It just kind of looks stone, looks chiseled out. I like that a lot. Recessed USB-C port. Very, extremely basic side profile. It is more of a block than it is a wedge. And then on the back, they did recess it down here, which I actually really like. And then what they did here too is they've added the weight. The weight is raised, as well as this little equilibrium badge. I would say this is a very simple case at the end of the day. I wish I knew that. Does it say the price on this Z Frontier? I don't know if it does. Not that I can probably find it now, but I wonder what the price was. How much is that converted, Sinister? Because then we also have to factor things like tariffs and import fees and all that other stuff as we figure this out as well. I mean, overall interesting. A little badge on the inside, a little cover for all the other stuff here. It doesn't seem to. Let's see if it makes any sounds when we tap it and stuff. I feel like this could have been a nice little balance of sound. 200 super fair for this. If it translated to about 200 and even 240, I feel like translated to America, like North America, I feel like this would have been a pretty decent little pickup. Interesting. I kind of want to open this up. I want to see the insides because it has an interesting mounting style as well. It seems like it's going to be a little thin, but it has some variations. So I feel like variations of stuff can cause that to be a bit better. It does have Phillips head screws everywhere though, which bothers me. Now the mounting's cool. I don't agree with this mounting post over here, but it's fine. It has some relief cuts, so it's not as bad. But it has these like little grommets, these little dumbbell kind of mounts that you can kind of put in and customize. Nice, right? I think with that color that it doesn't seem super simple. I agree with you, Adept. It doesn't seem super simple because of the color. It makes it look like chiseled stone, which I agree. But I think some of maybe the more anode colors might have been a bit too basic. I dream of commissioning flat but thick enough copper sheets on a keyboard to replace OEM keyboard backplates. That would be a cool little business model to kind of get yourself into. We got a big bag of extra screws here, which I don't think we really need. Let's just put those back here. And then what else we got? So these are those little dumbbell gaskets that they put in the bag here too. Hi Death Chip, how you doing? And then there's also a metal artisan in here too, with that kind of fancy foil look on the top. Interesting. Do I still use the standoff screws on the Mode Envoy with the O-ring trick you did a while back? Yes, for my personal Envoy, I have the O-ring trick that I did, but it is finicky to get that O-ring trick to work. So usually, I just remove it entirely. I don't usually keep the screws in. I don't know if it's a mother of pearl. I wouldn't imagine it is. It kind of just looks like foil. You can even see kind of where it's cut around the edges. Now, missed opportunity here. Not that there's any space on the front of the keyboard, but I feel like they could have incorporated that foil or some sort of badge or something on the top. I feel like they could have done something cool there. All right. I don't know what plate I want to use today, but I am going to be using some switches. These are the Cosmic Purple switches. Listen to these. There's a nice scratch to these. These are a full palm housing. Pretty nice. They're going to be loud though, so I'm thinking maybe we go with a plastic plate today. It's going to be interesting. Yes, Cosmic Purples from HMX. It's palm housing and I think an LY stem. Let me triple check actually. I literally was looking at these the other day, so I don't remember all of the info off the top of my head. Let's see, HMX Cosmic Purple. I think I'm right though. Yes, LY stem and then full palm housing. And I think this is HMX's first full palm housing. What is this, 2020? The cream comeback? Wait, 2020? Does this sound like cream switches? Oh, this is polycarb. Maybe we use polycarbonate. I don't know if this will sound super great with FR4. I feel like this might be too plasticky and too, like a bright plasticky sound with FR4. I think we go, maybe we try to like even out the sound signature and maybe we go PC. Is there a big difference between palm and PC? I personally think there's a very minimal difference. I don't think it's a huge difference. So, yeah, I agree. Let's go with the polycarbonate. I really don't think FR4 will sound good with these switches. Let's see. Ooh, very delicate looking PCB with these LEDs. So these LEDs will fire, I don't know if they fire downwards or to the side. I think they fire to the side. They're angled LEDs. Hot swap PCB with some level of customization here. A split right shift you can do, split backspace. And then a fixed 7U? Fixed 7U. Interesting. I mean, dude, I would have loved to see this come to North America. I feel like this would have done well. Just based off the aesthetics alone, I feel like this would have done like decently well. All right, now let's guess we have to decide on some stabilizers, huh? Got to decide on a little bit of stabilizers. What do I want to use for stabs today? I think I might just do my good old cherry clip-ins. Let's just do cherry clip-ins. It's a nice shirt. I like the, oh, they like the fabric? Thank you. It's one of my favorite shirts. Oh, like a different color top and then a different color body, you mean? Wait, are the LEDs firing backwards? No, I think they fire this way, like out. Which means they'd fire this way. At least I think. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. All right. It's cool that we get new budget boards, but why does everything have to look like Matrix at home? This is the harsh reality. Okay, please take this with a grain of salt. This is my opinion. This is how I view things. This is not fact. You can argue with me. I'm open to changing my mind. I feel like a lot of stuff that's meant to be budget is done with a few things in mind. Number one, when you're creating something that's going to be affordable, obviously your first thing has to be, how do I capture a lot of people's attention? And how do we sell this in bulk? So what a lot of people will do is they'll figure out what the current trend is, and it might be Matrix style vibes or something more out there. So they go, okay, that's step number one. We have to create something that is basically already popular. Number two, I think a lot of the times when it comes to this, again, you're also trying to create something cheap, and you're able to produce on a huge scale without taking a lot of time. So the second thing is creating a simple case, but also kind of leaning into the trends. And if it has to be kind of like a Matrix style, then so be it. Like, that's what's going to happen. That's kind of what happens with how I feel like it happens with a lot of these companies. And then there's obviously more steps to this that I'm just not going to chit chat about, but it's kind of just trend chasing. But there's a lot of good things that come out of creating stuff like this. Like, there is some cool innovations that we've definitely seen. I don't know. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of good stuff, but I also feel like... Thank you, Zonas. I appreciate it.
Bing bong.
What's up, man? I feel like it's just a different... And I say this very lightly. It's different, like, culture. You're like, people want to buy different things, but also not break the bank. But then there are people who are willing to invest lots of time, maybe even sometimes money, into the things that they like. So, it really depends. I think the thing that sometimes takes me out when I look at like some of the more budget-friendly stuff, thank you, Alex OP, is a lot of common design trends that I see with them. I think, again, everyone's different. Why I like the more custom side of things is I can definitely see a lot of the times how someone maybe spent a lot of time on like a very particular piece, how it stands out sometimes. I kind of even sometimes like the stories, the lore behind a keyboard, like the designer's lore, how did the designer got somewhere. Like, that to me is a lot of fun. So when I see stuff like that, I think that adds to like the experience, if that makes sense. I don't know. So just kind of
hey Alex, hope all is well.
Things are good. I can't complain. Today's just going to be a very, very busy day of just working the entire day. So, how are you? So nice. Velocity, thank you so much for the Prime. I appreciate that, man. I really want to see some boards with textiles in them, like the Tiga. Yeah, and that's kind of what I mean. Like, even though the Tiga, like, I was very honest, like, it's not 100% the sound I would normally chase. I mean, it could be. Who knows? Maybe I just have to try it at different switches. But the Tiga, I think, holds a special place in my heart just from, like, the materials used. Like, how cool that is to see someone try something different, you know? I don't know. Not to take away from any sort of joy that anyone has in the hobby, but everyone just enjoys different things and likes different things. That's all. Let's move this over. And let's start trimming these bad boys. Let's start trimming them. I don't know. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel? Ugh, I don't know what's going on with me. I feel like I still have a little bit of like this ongoing long cough that I just have not been able to get rid of. Thank you very much,
Thank
man.
you for reminding me to reactivate my Prime.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you, man. You're reminding me. How you doing, bro? I love the lore aspect of more niche/custom boards as well. The story of how it came to be is fun. Yeah, I think there's also something special about like supporting maybe a smaller artist as well. But everyone's different. Some people, want something that has been thoroughly tested maybe by a bigger company type deal, I've had this board for a year and I can't figure out the PCB. I was hoping for this. I've had this board. I don't know why I cannot read this right now. Oh my god, my thing's not scrolling up here. For a year and I can't figure out the PCB. I was hoping it was this equilibrium. So is this the one you have? Maybe we can figure this out together today. What seems to be the problem? Alex, what's the technique of clipping legs? Oh, dude, I angle it. Actually, I don't think I've ever talked about this. No one's ever asked me. I clip it kind of like this. I grab the flush cutters, right? And then what I do, if it wants to focus, is I kind of angle it. And then I clip. So I'll show you here in a second. I just don't want this to go flying. And it kind of leaves a small angled piece here in which I clipped off. See how it's angled? That's because I don't want it to, I don't even want the chance of me cutting it flush and then it leaves some sort of like piece of plastic that can potentially also just cause the same thing that the leg does, Why is Cherry the only manufacturer that has these? Cherry's just doesn't want to change their molds, maybe. I will say though, if you leave these on, it ends up making the stabs quieter. So if you're going for a super silent build, this is kind of a great option for people to do that. I know Type Rs are your new favorite tactiles, but do you have an all-time favorite that you go with every time if you had to build? Oh, for tactile switches? Honestly, it might be Type Rs right now. The one prior to that was Holy Pandas. But now, dude, I am straight on the Type R fan page type deal. I think they are the best. It doesn't get better than those in my humble opinion. Let's use this one, I guess. They're both 205. Dude, I still need to try stub stems. I do. I'm gonna use a lube pen for this. I ordered a bunch of Type Rs because of you. I need to pick them up. They're so good, man. Like, legitimately, I never care about tactile switches, and I'm shocked that Gatoron made a tactile switch that I like. Usually, I don't like Gatoron tactiles at all. I tried the cilantros at a meetup briefly, but never in like a full keyboard. Should I try them? Are they good? Are they worth trying? Is the question, maybe? Yeah, some people don't like them. Lube pen, what a beautiful world. Do the legs cause rattle? I mean, they could technically, yeah, maybe a little bit. Quick question, Alex. Are the limited mantas going live for the sale at the same time as the other mantas? It'll go live the same day. Here's the thing. Every region will probably go live at a different time, like during the day. I will probably make those limited edition ones live like midday, but I will let you guys know in Discord exactly when that goes live. But there's going to be 10 of them. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. There's going to be 10. Like the limited edition ones? No, it's just going to be on my website. It was just something I wanted to put together. So I asked if we can get some extra parts made and stuff like that. So luckily, it's actually not crazy expensive to get some of these like small batch parts made. The only expensive part that takes some labor is the flame patina. That's it. So the factory is actually going to be doing it, Cabu. Me and Bowl spoke to STR, and they managed to get it to a point where we're happy with it, so we're going to get them to do it. Q1, how's my weekend going? It's going. It looks really nice outside. But today I will be spending the day indoors. Can't really complain, though. cannot really complain at all. Anyone know what vendor this is from? If this still ends up going live, Dang Keebs will be the vendor for this keyboard. But as far as I know right now, this project is paused for North America. But Dang Keebs was lovely enough to send this out so we can still take a look. They were pretty awesome to just say, hey, you can still do the stream. What are those snacks on your desk? These? Silicone gaskets? You want one? I'm not sure what they're going to taste like. Yummy? Yummy? Delicious? Damn. Is this a new thing? I didn't know people were into this. And it... Oh goodness. It didn't read "and it" just because it was too... It knew not to, bro. It knew not to read "and it's." What the hell are you doing? Don't put something sugar in your coffee. Instead, put a... I don't even know what this is. Bro? And it probably doesn't even know how to say those words, so it didn't want to do it. It doesn't probably know. I can't even get it to replay. It won't replay just because it won't recognize those words. Replay, let's see. No. Thank you though, Anna. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you, dude. What's that supposed to be from? Are they cherry flavored? Dude. Okay, I want to say this right now. Cherry flavored candy is hit and miss with me. Way off topic. But recently I tried some cherry flavored stuff, and honestly it was kind of bad. I think I'm realizing now that there's very particular cherry flavored candies that I'm into. It has to be a particular cherry, or else I don't really care for them. Let's get wires and dielectric grease. Beverages, beverages I'm actually a little bit more lenient with, but candy, I feel like the only cherry flavored candy I feel like I vibe with are those Sour Blasters ones. Have you ever tried bottom out issues? Wait, have you ever had bottom out issues with stabs? I've had unique issues with stabilizers. I don't recall if there's ever been bottom out ones. You should try fructose candy from the Philippines. The cherry flavor is sweeter and much more cherryish. Where do you get those here in Canada? Do you know? Also, resident.
Good afternoon, everyone. Alexotos wave.
Hello, how are you? Oh, I totally messed up on this. How are you, resident? Thanks for a year of being here. Now you have your egg hatched, or your guy is a keyboard now for the year mark. Speaking of beverages, can someone explain to me how one drinks Dr. Pepper and doesn't suffer from sensory overload? Do you feel like it's too much, Kabu? Bro, honestly, I like Dr. Pepper, but I much prefer root beer. So if I ever go to a store, like, unfortunately for me, Dr. Pepper always gets outshined by root beer. Always. But I don't mind Dr. Pepper. I don't think it's... I get what you're saying, though. I can understand what you're saying. The sensory overload part. I get that. How do you deal with decision fatigue? Honestly... Oh, dude, that's such a good question. I feel like I'm fortunate enough to know exactly what I like with switches. But I also have been really enjoying trying new stuff. So I kind of had to make a decision, Sue. Dude, this is actually a tough one. Because I kind of had to make a decision a while ago where I stopped buying other stuff in keyboards. Sorry, my stomach's growling. But I never stopped buying switches. So I kind of switched kind of my spending in the keyboard hobby from keyboards and even keycaps to switches in the last like 6-7 months. So, that's kind of where I'm saying I'm fortunate because I haven't really had to deal with much decision fatigue. because I can just like buy a pack of switches and not feel like guilty because I'm also not buying keyboards. But yeah, I feel like a really smart way to do the hobby though. It's just getting a few keyboards or one or two good keyboards that you really enjoy, and then worrying about your switches afterwards, and kind of making that the hobby within the hobby type thing. So I find I've had more fun enjoying trying new switches in the same build. Like, dude, the Manta has been an excellent use case of that because we've gone through like 6-7 builds so far, and it's cheaper to buy a pack of switches with a hotspot PCB than it is to buy new boards every single time. I have some fun with keyboards and like I have some fun keyboards and like 2 to 3 boards that I love and are my designated tester boards. Yeah, exactly. Do you ever plan to cover ergo keyboards? If they come in, I am not really a good typist to begin with, so I type like a dinosaur, truthfully. You know what I'm saying? I love trying new switches. One day I'm typing on Desky filmed Geon 55 gram MX Blacks. The next day I'm typing on Swag Keys filmed Chewy 58 gram MX Blacks. What do you guys think? Is Annette bold and daring with his choices? What do you guys think? I would go on a limb and say yes. Very bold? He's so bold, dude. 3 grams of difference is crazy. Very brave? So brave. The Kronos is nice. I like it. Bold, daring, and novel. Stunning and brave. Good looking and brave. That's me, Bao. I said good looking and brave. Damn. I wish I could be like Annette. And his choices are equal to a 65% with a right top corner blocker. Damn. That's crazy. As long as his budget can keep up without impeding the cost of his needs, I hope Annette's doing fine. On a real note. My problem is I always tell myself that I'm going to buy my last keyboard that I need to buy another PCB. So I want different ones. I mean, here, listen, you guys can spend your money the way you guys want to spend your money. I just think responsible spending is the most important part about how you kind of interact with your hobbies. Hobbies, by the way, I want to go on like a longer speech here. Hobbies are incredibly, incredibly, incredibly important. I probably don't say this enough at all. But I think hobbies are kind of needed to balance your life. Like after work, you go home, you have a hobby. So I think spending money in your hobbies is great. And I'm happy for you guys. And I want you guys to keep enjoying what you're doing. But I think being responsible and knowing your limits and like how to spend is also part of the hobby. Kind of trickier to navigate sometimes. I've fallen victim to, overspending in hobbies sometimes. Luckily, I've gotten a lot better with it over the last few years. But, I just think that sometimes you need to... You do need to kind of pace how you spend your stuff, you know? But if you feel like something's getting overwhelming, like maybe you're spending too much in a certain area, I feel like it's good to take a step back and think, okay, am I? Am I though? Saw someone say keyboards are not a hobby, but consumerism. Okay, I disagree because technically collecting, like, would you guys say collecting Pokemon cards is a hobby? If you don't play the game? I would personally say it is. So if you collect keyboards and not use them, that's still a hobby. I think the only time, actually, it's so funny that we're talking about this because I literally spoke to someone about this yesterday. or on Friday. The only time consumerism stops becoming a hobby is when you stop caring about the product itself. Hear me out. If you were to just to buy keyboards because it's the newest and coolest thing and you're buying it just cause, and you do no research, you have no personal connection to this thing, you just bought it because it's the latest, trendiest thing, and maybe you're going to post a picture about it and show off, I feel like that is going over a line that separates consumerism and, in a way, addiction to just being a hobbyist. I don't obviously want to tell someone how to enjoy their hobbies, because some people will argue that consuming things is a hobby. I disagree, but I think there are limits. Like, for example, if you just want to buy every keyboard possible for the sake of it, and you're financially okay at the end of the day, and it makes you happy and brings you joy, and it's something that you can look at and smile, then it's a hobby. But if you want to buy every keyboard and then you're kind of struggling with things and it's becoming something that's kind of making you sweat, you know what I mean? Like in a bad way, then I don't think it's a hobby. I think it's an addiction. So, my personal take. I hate keyboards. I'm here for the community. Yeah, and believe it or not, again, literally funny enough, was talking to someone about this. Being in a community and being social is technically a hobby. It can be considered one. I mean, there's a reason I'm always telling you guys to really think about purchases and stuff. Like, I have not stopped saying that in 5+ years of streaming. Because I don't want anyone to ever just consume. Why should a hobby fall in the consumerism category if it's something that brings joy? Because to answer that, I actually think there's a lot of overlap. And I think consuming can become addiction, which is not healthy. And even at its core, yes, you could consider collecting switches and trying them in all your keyboards a hobby. But if it's actually bringing you a net negative to your life, maybe you have no food on the table this month because you spent it on a hobby, then I think that's a bad thing. So sometimes I wonder if I'm a keyboard hobbyist or if I just enjoy watching Alex's streams. I still watch the streams frequently, even when I went 4 months without doing any builds. I feel like that's a community thing though, Lane. I feel like you probably really like the community. And this is your version of like interacting with people and all that stuff. So I would consider that still a hobby. I think being social is a hobby. There's also a risk of higher tier keyboard owners calling your decently built metal keyboards mediocre because it's compromised for e-commerce sites and mass produced. I think that's elitist shit. And honestly, I think when people are being elitist and call something mediocre because you didn't spend as much money as them is cringe. So, addiction, like ordering 3 keyboards and 6 GMK sets after being in the hobby for 2 months? No. Just to reiterate what I said, it's addiction when your choice between maybe feeding yourself this month, or maybe you're choosing to not eat and you want to buy keyboard stuff. And you're like, yeah, I can skip meals to afford this thing. That's when it becomes bad. And that's when I no longer consider things a hobby. So that is when I think you need to do self-reflection. In my mind, a hobby is any activity that enjoyment can be derived from. Yeah, as long as you're not hurting nobody. All right, stabs are all tuned. Let's put this in. Actually, this is a pretty looking plate. Let's do this. Hopefully it never gets that bad. I've heard stories. Like, I've had people confide in me about stories. Not to get into too many details, but it can get that bad. That's why I always bring this up. And it got, technically, guys, it got that bad for me. I bring this up a few times, but, it happened to me, so. Don't mean to bring I lost the conversation. Don't mean to bring down the convo, but take it from me, addiction is real. After almost dying from long COVID, I went on a YOLO spree and drained my savings, partially on this hobby. I took a lot of work and years to get back to a healthy level, which helped me. What helped me the most... Why does it keep going up and down? Where'd it go? Oh my god, where did the conversation go? What helped me the most was talking to people in the hobby, because now I can really enjoy seeing them love keyboards. Yes, dude! I've talked about that. The joy of missing out instead of the fear of missing out. Being happy for people who are able to get something maybe you don't have. And I don't mean like, you know, going like, oh, this guy has like the Ferrari of keyboards, let's worship him. But like if someone managed to snag something, and even though you're able to grab it yourself on the aftermarket for triple the price, you just enjoy people, you know? But the same thing kind of happened to me, if you guys remember. When I first started doing keyboards, I didn't really enjoy... Like, I enjoyed the process of the keyboard itself, but I also was just, like, bored, lonely, depressed a little bit, and I had no concept of, like... I had no, like, future for myself in my head. It was just, like, I was working. At the time when I started doing keyboard stuff, I was working at Best Buy, and I had just quit my photography job. So for other reasons I'm probably not going to ever talk about, but like I just wanted to get out of that job. It wasn't for me. And I had, you know, I was still working full time at Best Buy. It was minimum wage. And every dollar I made from Best Buy and all the money I had saved up prior was spent on keyboard stuff. Every dollar. Like literally, guys, within 1 year of being in the keyboard hobby, so before I started streaming, my bank account was like about $100. Luckily, I never went to the red, but yes, I had no money. Everything was put into keyboards because I was depressed, and took a while because like it kind of hit hard where I was just like, dude, I had to start from scratch, like Kabu was saying. So it took a little while to get back on the point where I was like, damn, this is not healthy at all. So I had to recently review my finances and put a hold on some of my spending. It never got too bad, but I realized that I hadn't reviewed my budget in light of the financial situation in the US. I had to put a kibosh on the fragrance. Dude, for real. Sometimes you have to do that, man. Alex, which celebrity do you think might dabble on keyboard building and promote it to others? There's been some celebrities who have talked about keyboard stuff, I think. I know, I can't really say, but like there's definitely been people, like teams, who have reached out. But it's never gone anywhere just because like it's for personal reasons or like personal purchases and stuff like that. But I've definitely seen people who are considered celebrities get really interested. But the only celebrity that I know that has posted publicly about their keyboards, wasn't it Simu Liu? I'm pretty positive he posted publicly about his keyboards. Or I think he has keyboards. I'm pretty positive he does. I remember making a comment on his Twitter. Past that, a lot of even like the really high tier gamers that I've done keyboards for, like they can't use them. Unfortunately, they can't promote the keyboard hobby just because they have contracts. So it just becomes one of those things where it's like for personal use and it'll never see the light of day, like socially. You know what I mean? Any super duper exciting boards come out in the last few months? Been out of the latest releases since 2024? Super duper exciting. Like I think the really big exciting one that kind of just passed that I really liked, that I thought was amazing, was the Tiga. I really liked the Tiga. I think that one there is like real nice. Can I ask why the left and right arrow keys are turned? Oh, these are short shift and function. They're turned only because probably the hot swap, maybe the traces, like I actually think this could have been done differently. It could have just been north and south facing opposed to east and west. Or I guess this is just, actually I wouldn't even know what this is considered, but yeah, I don't know why that's like that. I'm pretty sure they also made him a Geist. Who? I oddly enough moved over from custom vapes to this hobby because building in the long form streams I was used to. Was there long form streams for vapes as well? That's kind of cool, dude. I know with vape stuff, not that I've ever vaped, but dude, I've seen some really crazy materials used for vape stuff. I had a friend who was into vaping and also really into keyboards, and he was showing me some of the materials they use for those vape pens or whatever they're called, and I was like, damn, this would be cool on a keyboard. I'm officially 3 months vape free. Hell yes, brother. Hell yes. Hobbies are fun, yay? Yeah, I agree. Hobbies are fun. If you pace yourself and do it all healthy, hobbies are amazing, and just take and enjoy the enjoyment. That's it. The Tiga is like a rug on the back. Holy moly. It's such a pretty keyboard. What do you think about Keywork shutting down? To be blatant, like Keywork wasn't really doing a whole lot. I think for a business to survive right now, like you kind of have to be producing products that, how can I word this? You kind of have to be producing products that aren't going to sit on a shelf. You know, does that make sense? I feel like a lot of Keywork stuff from like a sound perspective was just okay. And I feel like there were better things to spend your money on. Kind of. You kind of have to produce hype. Like, hype will only ever come if your product's actually really good. Like, the hype is only going to be very short-lived if the product's shit. I thought about how a possible untapped celebrity market could be prolific writers. Especially those that make... Oops. That make fiction works. Like, I feel like people who can aptly create an entire universe might also enjoy a custom writing implement. Damn, Kabu. These are big words. Of course, pens are an option, but maybe some don't know typing can be really enjoyable. I'm sure there are probably custom keyboards that people get. I'm sure. Maybe it's just not from our end of the hobby. If that makes sense. The protruding parts on each side seem less sturdy than expected, which is a bit disappointing. These parts? They're just LEDs. I don't think these will be a big problem inside the case. Wait, we talking about skins now? What are we talking about? Hold up, pause. Pause. Dude, did I tell you guys I went to Walmart last week? I was thinking about this last night because honestly, I kind of wanted to. I like opening Pokemon cards. It makes me feel like I'm a kid again, and I wanted to buy one pack, just one single goddamn pack from Walmart last week. And I already know I never find Pokemon cards there because every single time I go, someone buys all the Pokemon cards. Well, I actually saw someone buy all the Pokemon cards this time, and dude. There was like 6 packs, and there was also, I guess, booster boxes. And I kid you not, I was kind of just like looking around and stuff like that just to see if I can find an employee. But as I was looking around to try to find an employee, another employee came with the guy who wanted to buy all the Pokemon cards. He's like, yeah, I'll take them all. And I kind of just fucking rolled my eyes, man. And I just see the guy buy like 2 booster boxes and all this other stuff. And like, I just thought to myself, I'm like, man, this is guaranteed getting flipped. Absolutely guaranteed flip, bro. And it's kind of a bummer because I literally just wanted a single pack. Be careful on buying Pokemon cards. Scalpers will literally beat you up. Well, I'm not worried about that, but like, goddamn, dude. Pokemon packs is a serious ordeal. My brother's a TCG enjoyer and works at Target. Some Targets all have limitations in place, which is kind of a bummer that even needs to happen for cards, man. Look at those guns. Hey, Blaze, thanks, bro, for pumping me up, brother. No one ever cleans the shells with the intention of scalping. Yeah. Bummer, bummer, bummer. All right. Actually, I think this is going to be a sweet combination of parts. I can already tell this is going to have a pretty fun sound profile. Let's just hope the board also has a good sound profile, too. I haven't bought a pack since I watched the guy buy the entire vending machine stock in front of me. I haven't seen the Pokemon vending machines. I don't know if they have those here. Cool. Let's get this opened up. Yeah. I have extremely little respect for people who just flip things all day long. What is the keycap on your board? The one above? This is Future Funk. Future Funk is an amazing set. Absolutely amazing. Oh gosh. I feel like allergies are coming up and I have to sneeze. We don't actually know how much this board would have retailed for here. We have a rough price from the group buy in China, which was about $200, but we don't know how much this would have cost here. Monokai material vibes from it? From Future Funk? I can kind of see it. I kind of get that. Alright, let's take this internal frame out. Alright, so we have a ribbon cable here that we have to use, and then we have to figure out how these get implemented now. I'm pretty sure these little silicone blocker things just get pushed on like that. Pretty positive. Oh wait, did I do this wrong? This is the wrong way. This way, my bad. This way, okay, now I got it, we're good. Have you seen the Kohaku flippers recently? I mean, same ideology. I have no respect for those people. People who just buy things to flip them. I don't know. I've already talked about this though, man. It kind of like boils my blood. I hate it personally. Not a fan. Absolutely not a fan. Let's get this pushed out. This will go in like this. Oh, let's put the gaskets on first. What am I doing? All right. It seems like everything needs to be a revenue stream some days. Yeah, dude, everything always needs to provide someone like revenue. You can't just have a hobby these days. It has to be, you have to be able to make money from it, I suppose. This is a cool gasketing system, actually. I feel like you can get some pretty decent customization out of this. Cool. Have you watched Happy Gilmore 2? Is that an Adam Sandler movie? Can I be honest, guys? I don't really like Adam Sandler. It is not my go-to for dude, you guys can hate me for this one. I know it's probably a not popular take. I'm not a fan. Sorry, guys. I already know I'm gonna strip the coating off the Manta and rock a raw version. Dude, I am excited to see what some people are gonna do with the patinas. That is the whole point of us doing the raw versions. Like, the first thing when we were talking about colors, I told Bull, we have to do a full raw version, or like a at least copper fin raw version, because I want to see what people are going to do with those. I think it would be dope. All right, so this is not sitting 100% the way I want right now. What is going on? Is it the ribbon cable? I think it is the ribbon cable that's causing some issues. What is going on here? There we go. The ribbon cable is getting caught sideways. When should we expect the Manta in our hands? We're aiming for Q2 of next year, but we're kind of being hopeful that it's actually going to be even sooner than that, so. Okay. Cool, let's screw this together. How long is the GB running for? The entire month. So you guys will have tons of time to decide. Imagine going with your son to Walmart, getting excited for Pokemon cards, and some pieces of trash, just buy them all for a 10 to 20 profit per card. I mean, yeah, they're not doing anything about it. I agree. They just don't care. There's no point. Like, they're still selling items. It's just ruining the experience for everyone else. They're just, the big problem is there needs to be a shift of, like, culture. Like, that's it. Like, people need to, there just needs to be a shift in mentality, more so. US is shipping from Bull, so just tax and shipping to pay? Yep, basically. And then the limited edition ones, I'll figure out with you guys. I'm selling them through my site. But we'll figure it all out. So for American people, there might be extra taxes, but I wanted to do something special for, like, because I am Canadian, I want to do something special for people who are also shopping from Canada, and, you know, I wanted to vendor them, so we'll see what happens with those guys. All right. Now, I wanted to put soju on this. Should we put Kikobo soju on this? Actually, let me make sure it turns on. I like these LEDs. I think these LEDs are cool on the keyboard. I think they kind of rock. You know what else kind of rocks? Knock. Knock rocks, bro. How you doing, Knock? I hope things are going well. Love you, buddy. I hope life's treating you the best it possibly can right now, because that's what you deserve. It's your B-Day? Happy birthday, bro. Can we eat some happy birthdays? Scotty, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate you, man.
Oh wow, it's my thick Canadian father, Mr. Alexotos, amused.
Thank you, dude. I appreciate you. Hold on, let's just see what Soju's gonna look at it. I think Soju will look good on this. Yes or no? I think so. Okay, let's do Soju. It's just a good set too. Like, it genuinely is a great set. So I have Soju in my cart. Yeah, I'm actually really happy they did a round 2. I saw this morning and I tagged you guys with that. Because you know, the only reason I stumbled upon it was because I was literally thinking, oh, I want to put Soju on today's keyboard. Because I saw the color in the box and I was like, oh, blue would look nice with this. Like, Soju's blue. Because this is a very pleasant blue. I actually don't mind this blue at all. Can I shop from Dubai but send it to a Canadian address, my friend, and get the Canadian treatment? Even a pack of maple? That'd be cool. Maybe I will do that for some people who are out of Canada. Or maybe I'll figure out some snack to put in there. But yeah, you technically could, just as long as that's where you're putting the address to and it all checks out. Gotta be honest, everyone knows what keycap set is the best. Really, I believe the statement. Everyone agrees, even if you don't think they do. Hold on, Blaze, get to the point. Gee, you might be wondering what set I'm talking about. I am. All you gotta do is do the first... Okay, you know what? I am not, because I already know what this is gonna spell. Greg, bro. I already know it's gonna say Greg. But that's pretty clever. That is pretty clever. Now I want to get blue keycaps. Alex, what have you done? So I think Soju is a fair price. Nice ABS keycaps. Soju looks good. It has some cool novelties and stuff. Like having these cool caps here is dope to put on the keyboard. Oh, I think this is... There we go. No, this is an ABS set. A little different from GMK's ABS, though. When's the GB for this? For the board? I couldn't tell you guys. I have no clue when the GB for the board is. If this is even gonna sell. Actually, this does look nice with this. The keycap colors remind me of GMK Striker. I think Striker's a little bit denser of a blue, no? Am I wrong on that? Striker was a peak set. So let's just do this for now. Striker was super, super good. Ooh, these switches are nice. Yeah, I would say this looks a little bit more like Cadet as well. I'm using HMX Cosmic Purple, which are some new HMX ones that I picked up. They are a full palm body. These were recommended to me. And they have a bit of scratch. Like a hint of it, which I think kind of adds to the set, or the switches a little bit. They aren't the fullest sounding switch because they're supposed to be a bit brighter, but I think they work really nice. Like they're a nice sounding switch. I think they'll work really good on plastic plates. Maybe aluminum depending on the mounting style, but perhaps. All right. Now let's do, I have to get the rest of the set out. Wait, that was... Oh, no, I guess I have to open this one still. How would you feel if your view count for the next stream was swapped with iShow speeds? Oh, are you just asking if I had a lot of viewers? I'd be nervous. I'm always nervous streaming. Let's use this one. And then I don't know what I'll do for the rest of these. Maybe just page up, page down. Yeah, maybe let's do page up, page down. Oh, this is the wrong page up. We're here for the maple? Are you nervous you're gonna freeze like Eminem in 8 Mile and poo yourself? God damn it. We're going that far? We going that far? Wait, where's the right page up? Oh, where's these? Is this? Yeah, this is it here. Page up. Page down. That's still wrong. I don't really follow a lot of keyboard people or a lot of keyboard stuff, but I like Alex a lot. Such a nice vibe. Thank you. I treat you guys like I treat my friends. So I just want to have a good day. That's it. Good time, chilling, not be too serious about things. I have an idea. We're not your friends? No, I said I treat you. Oh, well, okay. I came all wrong. You guys are my friends, so I treat you guys like friends. Oh my gosh. You guys know what I'm saying. Wait, this is a cool look. Yeah, dude, this is sick. I forgot about these. This is, I think, honestly, if you're gonna get anything from Soju, you get these. This is nice. Alex, the brother we wish we had? Dude, me and my brother argued a shit ton. I don't know if that's a good one for me. For real, I just pop on the Alex VODs or in stream whenever I can just to get stuff done. The vibe here is healthy for me. For real. Thank you, Richie. I appreciate that, man. Soju might be the best Kikobo set you can get at IMO. I agree. I think even the extra sets for Kikobo Soju work well. Like they're not like over the top. I just have two brothers. What linear switch would you recommend for a heavy tactile lover? Ooh, I would honestly go with a long pull switch because it kind of shares some sound signature resemblance. So like a cream soda, Obscuras, I feel like are good for that. Ow. Actually, this color and Soju work so well together. What do you guys think? I think this is a good pairing color-wise. But then again, I think any color would work really well with this. This is really nice. I might actually have to reopen this up and put the gaskets in. I think it's bottoming out. Yeah, okay. Let me, because I didn't put the gaskets on the bottom one. Let me reopen this quick. Now to figure out where the screw points are. I would say you gotta try both long pull and normal stem linears. You know what? Soren's not wrong. I think maybe that's a good point. Maybe you do have to try both. I'm stuck between two Hall Effect keyboards, the Wooting or the Venom. I've tried both. I think the Venom PCB is fantastic. I actually have one coming in for myself soon. But also the Wooting PCB, I mean, it's really tough to beat what Wooting is doing. So, however, dude, the Wooting PCB is hella expensive. I just can't get behind the price of that thing, man. It is so damn pricey. Are you gonna go crazy style on the new TFT set with the Hall Effect switches? Is the new set out, or is it just in PBE? I think it's in PBE, but it's out in a week or two. Yeah, I'm gonna wait until it's fully out. Every time I do PBE, I get bored of the game really quick, so I'm gonna wait this time. Okay, I do think, regardless though, maybe I add some of that bottom foam. I feel like it does have some metallic-y hot spots, but I'm also wondering if this just has a lot of points of contact. But we shall see here in a moment. Am I missing, like, did I forget a screw point? Oh, I did one. Okay, this one here. There we go. Oh yeah, that is bottoming out on that. Okay, so we do have to put that there. Wooting is great. I don't know how much the 60V2 will cost though. Yeah, the Wooting stuff's just really expensive. Do I have these the wrong way actually? Maybe I'm supposed to do with the ball part facing down. Okay, let me try that. Maybe that would make more sense. Yeah, I think so. But yeah, you probably, if you have this keyboard already somehow, then you probably do need to use those middle gaskets as well. What did Alex say to Jollibee? Oh, we're bringing this up again? We're bringing this conversation back to light? Does soju come with complimentary soju? I wish, bro. Soju's delicious. It's kind of deceivingly too good, though. It's too good. Deceivingly too good. Yeah, it's much better. You know what? Maybe we do need to force break this. Perhaps we do. Oh, something not sitting 100% here. Oh, just take this off for now. Today I'm going to be streaming 2 induction boards as an alternative to Hall Effect. Induction's cool, man. Huh. What's in this foam bag? I do feel like I might have to force break this. There is a gasket version we can also do too instead of the tabs, which we could try. But I think I do have to force break this. Well, there's a lot of, you know, actually I think I know where I probably have to. I guess this is one of the caveats into why maybe this type of design might not work well. I didn't even think about this until right now. You might have to literally force break points around the side of the keyboard here. The reason being is because they touch and vibrate along the sides of the seam here. Which, again, didn't really think about that until literally right now. So, but what it does, what force breaking does is it creates, kind of forces a gap in between two things so they don't ping and vibrate and move around. But yeah, I didn't really even think about that until right now. But let me try something. Let me do a little something here to see if we can get this to sound a little different. Let me see what I got for materials. These might work well. It's a whole bunch of little gasket things we can use. I've experimented with just regular tape and foams. I still think the best results I get are like little foam stab pads. They're thin enough and they compress enough. I think these are literally the best options because compression. And with tape, I feel like you kind of have, once in a blue moon, you kind of have to double layer the tape, which kind of looks bad. Any thoughts about the Dead Venom PCB? Quite many people on Gion's DC forum. Dead Venom PCB? What does that mean? I might be out of the loop there. I'm just gonna put these on the four corners here for now. See if this helps a little bit. Not going to do a whole lot of this one, though. I haven't really taken a look at it then. If it's a new PCB from Gion. Let's do 2 on the sides. My old Keychron Q3, I used a masking tape force break. They'd flatten out after a while. Yeah, I guess that's the other problem with using masking tape too, is there is probably a need for reapplication down the road. Which makes sense. That's why I like using these little foam gaskets. I still think these are like elite to use. I'll put one there, and then maybe two on the top. We'll see. Maybe we'll just use this whole sheet. Plumber's tape, which sounds janky, but it was not terrible. Is that really thick? I really don't know too much about plumber's tape. I guess, yeah, let's just put one here for now. It's thin and compresses. Oh, that's interesting. Alex smells. Hi, Simon. How you doing? Smells good? Thanks, Simon. Appreciate you, bro. Simon, how are things? Teflon plumber's tape? Have I used that either? I'm not sure. Okay, I'll do one more here. All right, so to recap this board, again, I don't think this is running in North America at this point. As far as I know, this looks like it will probably stay as a once ran group buy in China. I don't love the top aesthetic. I think the top aesthetic could be better. I think the seams seem to have more pitfalls than anything. I'm hoping these pieces of tape here don't compress too much. Maybe we can't use these. Yeah, maybe we can't. Maybe we have to peel these off. I don't know if they're vibrating too much, causing some I don't think we can use these maybe. I think there's some net negatives here for doing a design like this. So perhaps this is not the greatest. I do like the flexibility you get with some of the gasketing here on this keyboard. I do like that. And I do like the coating they use. The coating's really pretty. The coating is very, very cool on this keyboard. Let's just try this. We just do a little bit of a force break here. I'm in the middle of a podcast. Oh, right now? She loves clacks. That's cool. Is she getting into keyboards herself? Or are you getting her into keyboards a little bit? But yeah, overall this keyboard's interesting. I just don't think... Again, I have to see the price point. If this goes anywhere above $275, I don't think this would be a keyboard that does super well. I think there needs to be more options, and I do think this top frame needs to be slightly redesigned. Well, okay, when I say slightly, I think it needs to be done in a way where it's not going to cause any sort of need to force break anything. Let's see now. All right, so the metallic-y sound is gone now, but obviously we had to make some adjustments of our own. All right, so now it sounds pretty good. Yeah, you know what? Again, it didn't really strike me until right now that this seam, this like drop-in top kind of design might actually cause rattling. Again, didn't really strike me until this moment. But interesting nonetheless. Very, very interesting. All right, so first of all, these switches sound really good. I like these switches. Let's plug it in and see how it sounds and all that. I like these LEDs as well. These LEDs are really cool on this board. Very soft typing experience too with this. Oh, this is the escape button. I do like these switches. This PCB is freaking out every now and then. I don't know if it's shorting. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this PCB. It's not actually typing properly. It just seems to be... Maybe it is shorting. Okay, there it goes. I don't know why it's happening now, but... The switches are HMX Cosmic Purples. These are loud. I expected these switches to be loud. Oh, my bad. God, I am not used to these macro keys. I'm reaching over here for the escape. Oh gosh, jeez. Yeah, I don't know. There's some keys that are bound to some weird things here. Like, that should not be happening. These are number keys, but I can't type in the numbers. Unless I've activated a different layer. Who knows? I don't really know what this keyboard's even set to right now. I know the beeping's really annoying. My bad, guys. The mythical, the typical Mac sound is lovely. Mac mode, perhaps. All right, so I like what the keyboard's aiming to do here. I like the macro columns. It gives me, again, that Polygon 7 vibe, which I really like the aesthetic of that keyboard. I thought that was a really nice layout. You could use these for a bunch of different macros if you like the 60 vibe. At this point here, I almost feel like if you're getting a keyboard this wide but still want a 60, why not just go for a 65? But if you really like this type of layout, hey, this is cool. Like I said, I liked the polygon. This is a fun layout. I like the LEDs. I like what they did here with the LEDs. I think these are really fun, and it makes the case look cool. I'm still not 100% sold on this top seam. I know you guys in chat said some of you guys really like this top seam. I don't know. I just feel like the keyboard would look insanely clean without it. It's cool though. I think it's a fun layout. How big is this front lip? Let's see. I'm curious. What does this front lip come out to? See if I can find my caliper now. Do I even have it? Where's my calipers? Okay, I'll find my calipers here in a second. It's very soft feeling as well. I like how soft this is. Again, other than that, it's a pretty simple case. This doesn't really stand out machining wise. Like, there's not a lot of crazy things you can really look at this and go, wow, they did a lot to machine this. It's a fun weight. I like what they did with this kind of foil effect over here. Very cyberpunk, as we've mentioned earlier too. It's a cool looking case. A bit simple though. I don't think this would be everyone's vibe. I really still think they should have brought the case over and put the seam down the center, or just made the top frame a big piece over here and done the seam on the bottom. I feel like that would have been a better choice, to not take away too much from the top. Interesting though. Very, very interesting board. I like the way it sounds. Maybe it's the switches also carrying this a little bit too, but I do like this. I'm shocked that I like the spacebar, even though it has those gasket points over here. I thought this would be a little bit more fatiguing feeling, but it's pretty soft. I think they did a really good job with how they've mounted this too. Nice. Very, very fun. Very fun layout. You know, I still think if they released this and this was under 250, this should do super well. I don't know if they can get it to under 250. I hope they can. Yeah, there's a bit of scratch with these switches. I actually think I'm a big fan. I think I might be sold on these switches too. These are those cosmic purples. Were they cosmic purples? Is that what they're called? They're on Unikeys. I think I'm a fan. Yeah, cosmic purple linears. Full palm body LY stem, and they purposely left some scratch. Actually, a lot more consistent sounding than I thought it would be, you tapping on the bottom. Well, I think the different taps that I did on the bottom were kind of interesting because it gave us like 3 different sound signatures depending on where we hit. Fun, kind of fun. Thanks again for Danekeebs for even letting us take a look at this, because Danekeebs sent this out. They didn't know if this would release or not, but they still said, hey, take a look at it. So pretty cool that we got to take a look today. So does this just not type in numbers? It does now. I guess there's some sort of layer button. Maybe I have to look in VIA or something. Does this load in VIA? Let's see. It doesn't even recognize in VIA. Does it load in Vial? Let's see. Doesn't even recognize. So I'm going to take off some points there too, because this probably does not work outside of using its own software, which kind of sucks. So whatever though, it's all right. This is from Gion. This is Gion's screwdriver set. Alex is using something other than milky yellows? Listen here, my friend. We use non-milky yellows a lot nowadays, okay? I promise. All right, though, guys. I mean, that's pretty much today's build. Some stuff I just quickly wanted to touch on, too. This week should be a normal week of streaming. No more chaos because of people last-minute canceling things or last-minute asking me to move things around. We should be doing... Oh, shit. Actually, I hope this arrives tomorrow. We should be doing the Angle 65 tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Tuesday. Wednesday, we should be doing the Evo 75. I have a question mark next to this one here. Actually, maybe it will be a chaotic week. Who knows? Friday, we're definitely doing a mode loop. And then Sunday, we're definitely doing finally the Lotus 80. So maybe the first few days of this week will be a little bit up in the air. But it still should happen. We still should be doing all those things. I'm excited to see the Evo 75 a lot. I don't know if I'll get an OGR2. We'll see. Honestly, I kind of hope, but let's find someone to raid. Yeah, let's see who's online. Thanks, guys, for tuning in today. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I have some other fun stuff I have planned for this week, too. So expect some other cool things. But let's see who is online and ready to be raided. We can go raid Mango. Mango's doing a Ginkgo 65, which I have not seen in a hot minute. All right, everybody. I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good one. I'll see you guys very, very soon. Thanks for being here with me. What else? Not a whole hell of a lot. I'm going to go record some stuff now. I'm going to go build another keyword, but I have to record it also. Macaroon, thank you so much for the tier 1, man. I appreciate you. See you guys tomorrow. See you guys, and have a good one. Say hi to Mango. Bye, everybody.